everyone, I'm Connor and welcome to my channel, The Closet. If it's your first time here, on my channel I like to talk about all things luxury, so if that's something you're into, I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you're notified when I bring out new videos. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Now today's video, I am going to be, stirring the pot a bit, I guess. And I am going to be comparing the
HERMES Kelly to the FENDI PEEKABOO.
And I know what you're thinking, like, you can't do that. Well, watch me bitches, because I'm going to, because I think that the FENDI PEEKABOO and the HERMES Kelly are pretty comparable, especially when you look at the silhouette, the functionality, the overall design, and the kind of quality that you'd receive from both bags. Let's get into it. Let the rounds begin.
Are you ready?
First of all, I do want to point out that I love both the HERMES Kelly and I also love the FENDI PEEKABOO, and I think that they are both great bags in their own right. I don't think that one is ugly and the other is superior or anything like that, but I was just looking at the characteristics and all the other things in between, and I thought that people should know these things, okay? I think the HERMES Kelly has been, more highly regarded than the FENDI PEEKABOO, and I wanted everyone to kind of know what I had found out, okay? Now, I have done a bit of research for this video. Yeah, a bit of schoolwork, and the results shocked me, okay? But I don't own a HERMES Kelly nor a FENDI PEEKABOO, so I have no skin in this game. This is purely to help you, find your way in the luxe world. So let's start it off. Now, first of all, the functionality of the bag is obviously paramount, because what's the use of having a bag that is of a certain caliber or a certain price point that is not functional, right? So I've written some notes just to make sure I stay on track, because I'm a bit of a fucking talker. So basically, I've used for my examples, so it's kind of, apples for apples, not like oranges for spaceships. And I'm using the FENDI Mini PEEKABOO in the Celleria style with comparison to the HERMES Kelly 25 Raton in Togo leather. Both the leathers are a pebbled, calfskin pebbled leather. The FENDI PEEKABOO size is 23 centimeters in width, and the HERMES Kelly 25 is obviously 25 centimeters in width. So they're pretty comparable in terms of the overall size of the bag, that kind of small to medium, I guess you'd call it, because 25 centimeters, 23 centimeters, it's not tiny. I wouldn't call it a mini bag, because there's obviously things that are smaller. And even with HERMES and FENDI, they have versions of that bag that are smaller. So I guess you'd call it small to medium. So after looking at the overall kind of style of the bag and the insides and outsides of them, the silhouette, I guess, is quite similar. But what I found with the FENDI Mini PEEKABOO is that the way that they've partitioned the bag in the center, it gives you more practicality of space. So you've got the front compartment of the bag pocket, and then you've got the rear of it, which is a mirror image, I guess, but they're both very practical, and you get the advantage of having a spot, I guess, where you would put certain things that you're not going to be accessing, is that the word? Yes. All the time, and then things in the front that you'd be more reaching for. For example, you might put in the front of the bag like your phone, your wallet, your keys, and a lipstick or a lip balm or whatever. And then in the back partitioned pocket, you might put the things that you're not going to be reaching for all day, like a small cosmetic bag, or those phone charger things, like the power banks, like stuff that you're just not going to be going in and out for all of the time. Also, the way that the partitioning part is set up is they have a turn lock, I guess, on both sides. So if you want to, you can secure the back pocket and close it and keep the front pocket open, or you can do both, or you can leave both open. You have that variety of sectioning off the bag and making the most use of the space. The FENDI PEEKABOO also comes with a adjustable strap. Now, I'm not sure if the non-Celleria version of the PEEKABOO has the adjustable strap. I believe it does. But for this example, the Celeria version does have an adjustable strap. So whether you want to use it for crossbody, depending on your body frame and whatnot, or as a shoulder bag, you have that option with the strap. The bag also has feet. I think any kind of bag in this price point should have feet. I know that the non-Celeria version PEEKABOO doesn't have feet, but this version does. And it also has a hardware plate on the inside of the bag that basically has the artisan's code and kind of gives the bag a bit more of a personal, luxurious touch, because you can, you know, it's reference to the person who made it and it makes it feel that extra bit special. Now, when we're comparing it to the Kelly 25, the Kelly 25 is basically one big open pocket hole space, whatever you want to call it. It's not partitioned in any way. Once you open the bag, it's just one big spot. It has a zip pocket on the back and then it has two slip pockets on the front. Okay, now I personally don't find those two pockets with the zip pocket and the two slip pockets practical at all, because what are you really fitting in the zip pocket at the back, right? You may put a card, you may put something flat, but you don't want to put anything too bulbous in there because it's going to stretch the pocket. It's going to put pressure on the back of the bag where the pocket is attached to, and it's quite limited. The two slip pockets on the front, again, what are you really putting in there? Like a lipstick maybe, and it's going to stretch the pocket, or you're going to put some cards, a parking ticket. It's pretty limited when you really think about it. So I don't think the kind of overall functionality of the bag inside is that great when you're comparing it to the PEEKABOO, which gives you the option of the two compartments, closing one off, keeping one open, vice versa. Also, with Kelly bags, like I was saying before, those pockets, if they are used wrong, or if, you know, you're stuffing it or whatever, it will indent the front or the back of the bag depending on what you're putting in there, I guess. It will, over time, put an indentation on the front or the back of the bag. So that's not good. The strap that comes with the HERMES Kelly isn't adjustable. It's purely a shoulder strap only, so you don't have that option of obviously adjusting it. Also, the actual structure of the bag to secure it is quite cumbersome, and if anybody, you know, owns a Kelly, or if you've watched YouTube videos on it, it's not a bag that you would want to secure properly as I guess the bag's intended to be used whilst you're using it daily, because it is not easy. You've got to close the flap, put it onto the turn locky part of the bag, then you've got to put the sangle little strap things over each other and then turn the lock, and that's not really practical. Whereas with the PEEKABOO, you just simply push in the fold of the compartment part and then turn the turn lock and it's done. So you can do that one-handed. The HERMES bag, the HERMES Kelly, if you were to do that, you could not do it one-handed, and it's so many extra steps to securing the bag properly. Alternatively though, you could just lift over the flat part over the turn lock and then turn it, which would be more comparable to the PEEKABOO, but then you'll have the little sangle things flapping about, and it's not how the bag was intended to be closed properly, I guess. So there's that. One bonus with the Kelly though is you do get the clochette padlock and keys, which is a nice little touch to the bag. It gives it that more classic feel. I know some people love clochettes hanging off the bag. It gives it that kind of, you know, luxurious aesthetic. I personally like the look of a clochette. I personally like the look of a clochette, and I do think it gives the bag that extra bit of character. And the padlock I do like as well. But in saying that, people don't put the padlock on their bag because no one's going to be like postman patting it and like unlocking and locking the bag regularly, right? The Kelly does have feet as well, like the PEEKABOO, and the Kelly feet are probably a little bit more pronounced out, which probably gives the bag a little bit more of an advantage because the feet protrude out more. So there's more of a chance that the feet are going to be touching the surface versus the bottom of the bag. But in terms of the structure, I'm going to say that in terms of the accessibility of the bag, I'm going to say that the Fendi PEEKABOO wins that round. Next would be the variety of the two bags. Now we'll start with Fendi. So Fendi bring out different takes on the Peekaboo each season, whether it be mixing up different materials, whether it be a hybrid of traditional cow leather with internal exotic leathers. I've seen some Fendi Peekaboos that are the pebbled leather on the outside and then python on the inside, and I think that is so cool to kind of mix up the leathers and give different takes on the bag each season, whilst also producing the classic version of the bag. I think that is so cool. If you're a collector of the bag, it gives you that option of adding different versions into your collection. Variety is always good, especially when shopping for luxury, right? We love the variety. We don't like, you know, stock standard lock and barrel every season because it gets boring. So I do love that. Now when it comes to the Hermes Kelly, whilst there are every now and then different versions of the Kelly bag in where they will do, I think Hermes have done the Kelly Touch and the Birkin Touch, where they've got the normal Togo leather, for example, and then on the flap they've used, or the handle, they've used exotic leather like crocodile or alligator to kind of contrast between the two. Whilst they have done that, very rarely do you see Kelly bags come out in different styles at the rate that Fendi have their Peekaboo come out in. You don't see it that often, and very rarely are you getting that kind of rainbow of variety with the Kelly bag. So I'm gonna have to say that the Peekaboo does come out with a lot more variety. Fendi do amazing creative experiences, and they really look at their bags as blank canvases and bring out so many different varieties, and I don't think Hermes really pick that up. In saying that, obviously Hermes is more of a classic kind of brand, so it's pretty much you know, in character with that, but still when comparing the two, Fendi's got to win. I will say though, in Hermes's defense, that their color variety is incredible. The colors that Hermes come out with every season, they will bring out either new colors and then, they'll bring out new colors, they will reinvent previous colors and make them better, or they will do a hybrid of the two. So you're getting brand new seasonal colors mixed with classics, revamped classics, blah, blah, blah. And what I love about Hermes, which I don't think from memory any other of the fashion houses do, is they name the colors of their colors. Does that make sense? Like, they name them things. So there's like blue electric, a taupe, gold, you know, rose sakura. Like, they give specific names to colors. They don't use the name of the color and reference it with a season like Chanel do, or I think what Fendi do with it. I can stand corrected, but from what I've seen online, Fendi will say lilac or, you know, blush or whatever, and it's not like a specific name, because the next season they might bring out a lilac, still call it lilac, but it's different to the previous season. So I think Hermes nails their colors. I think the vibrancy of their colors and the saturation is amazing, and I haven't seen other places do it as well as them. Not to say that the colors that Fendi bring out aren't amazing, I just think Hermes really nail it and catalog it well. Now, price point. So obviously there is a bit of a discrepancy in the price, and this is when the kind of debate around fashion houses being different level tiers and all of those things come into play. But if you're looking at the Fendi Mini Peekaboo in the Selleria, currently it retails for 6,700 Australian dollars. Our prices always include tax. And then when you compare it to the Togo leather Hermes Kelly 25, that currently retails for about between 14,000 and 15,000 Australian dollars. I couldn't get a definitive price point, but it falls somewhere in there. I'm thinking it's more around the 14,500 price point, but let's just say it's $14,000 to keep it even. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, do not think that there is a quality difference between the two bags. I think once you get to a certain level of artisan standards where they're hand making bags, they're sourcing, you know, exquisite types of leather from tanneries and things. I don't think that I could honestly put my hand on my heart and say that the Hermes Kelly is a better quality bag to the Fendi Selleria. I just don't. I think that both of the artisans make the bags impeccably well. I think that they are of the same standard or the same tier, and I don't think that the Kelly's price is justified being, you know, more than double when compared to the Fendi Peekaboo of the argument, oh, but Hermes is better quality. I honestly think that they are of the same quality. I think the longevity of the bags speaks for itself. If you look up both bags on the pre-loved market, when they've been looked after by the owner, they both stand the test of time. I think the hardware they use, I mean, at the end of the day, Hermes and Fendi both use plated hardware, so it'll be, normally it's brass plated in palladium or gold and vice versa. So I don't think that one is better than the other. In saying that, you know, it all depends, I guess, on the person that's made the bag and the person who owns the bag and how they look after it, which depicts the quality. But that's just what I think, and you could argue it both ways, I guess, but I just think that once you get to a certain level of artisan craftsmanship, you're really getting the same type of bag. Now, bringing me to my last point, that is accessibility, and I think it's an easy one to say that it is a lot easier to obtain a Fendi mini peekaboo in the Selleria leather versus an Hermes Kelly in any style, any variety, any whatever you want to call it, from the boutique. Like for like, walking into the boutique and wanting to purchase one of these, obviously Fendi is a lot more accessible. Now, I didn't want to dwell too much on this point because the two fashion houses have completely different ways of giving bags to clients, I guess, or accessibility to stock. And I don't think it's a fair comparison to line them up with each other because they do things very differently. But it is worth noting that if you do want to purchase one of these bags, you're going to be able to purchase the Fendi one a lot easier. In saying that, there are certain Fendi combinations in the Selleria that sell out like that. You can't get them. The store may only get one and it's already given to a, you know, VIP client. I'm looking at you, Meredith. You're getting all the Fendi bags. But if you're looking at it from the lens of accessibility, of course, Hermes is renowned for having highly coveted bags, and the Kelly falls into that category. There's generally a in-store spend or a quota to meet to be offered one of these bags, and you can't just walk in and pick up a Kelly from Hermes. I think we all know that. We all know the way it works. So if you're looking at it from just a straight off the bat accessibility point, from purchasing it from new in the store, of course Fendi is going to win. But you know, more points for Fendi, I guess, because if you want to even just go into the store to try on a bag, whether it's in a color you like or not, you do have that option with Fendi. I walked past Fendi today when I was on my break for work, and a little geese in the window, and I could see a Fendi mini peekaboo Selleria on the shelf where if I were to walk in, I could pick it up, try it, see how it looked with me, my frame, feel the leather, see the texture, all of that. You get that option, but with Hermes, of course, you don't get that option. So Fendi, you're winning a lot. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Of course, I think both of the bags are beautiful in their own right. They both have impeccable craftsmanship. They both have, you know, big histories, and they both are very signature to the brands that they represent. I'm not saying that the Hermes Kelly is, you know, bad and the Fendi is good, or vice versa. I'm just saying that they are very similar bags. They both come from incredibly prestigious fashion houses, and they do have a lot of similarities that I think people overlook a lot of the time because they think Hermes is up here and Fendi is here, and I think it's not a fair judgment, I guess, to say, because I think both bags in their own right have impeccable quality and they are both really nice bags. But each to their own, and whatever kind of bag you prefer or pick, that is, of course, up to you because you're the one paying for it. But hopefully this video has given you a bit of an insight, bit of an eye-opener between the two bags, and with this resurgence, is that the word? Fendi. I feel like Fendi are just so in demand at the moment. And look, call me ignorant, they may have just been in as much as demand as they have always been, but I know for a fact that I have seen in my social media feed, on YouTube, influencers, all of those things, people are going for Fendi because I feel like people are really starting to see the quality, the style, and the kind of playful yet sexy kind of combination of that brand, which may have been overlooked previously, and I'm all for it. I love Fendi. I want a Fendi bag, and you know, it's looking pretty good. But thanks so much for watching, everyone. Pop down your thoughts and comments down below. I would love to hear from you, and let's keep the discussion going. Maybe there's points I've missed, maybe there's points I should add, whatever it may be, pop it down below. Also, I would love it if you could give this video the thumbs up, as it helps out my channel, and I hope to see you off YouTube on my Instagram account, The Closet by Connor. But thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all next time.